So I just got this in the mail. I am a huge fan of Arches paper, especially the hot press. I can't even say especially the hot press, only the hot press. I have never really tried the cold press. Hot press is a little smoother of a surface. I normally use this big old thing, paper, and it's a 22 by 30, and I'll cut it and rip it up, do whatever. And that's normally what I work on, and I love the surface. But I thought I would try this. The thing I like about it, it's what they call a block. So it's not like a standard sketch pad. It's a individual sheets. And how that works is that, how do you say, I've already opened it up. So I didn't have to go through that. But they say remove sheets by inserting a palette knife here, kind of deal. I don't use a palette knife. I'm too afraid it's going to mess up the paper a little bit. So what you do is you just take an X-Acto blade and you stick it right in between a sheet of paper, right? Just like that. And you literally just cut around. There we go. And boom, there's your sheet of paper. So really cool, and that way all your sides have kind of this neat little black sign onto it. But once again, it's 100% pure cotton, hot pressed. I absolutely just love it. They call it a block, is what they call these types of paper. I like these because, you know, a sketch pad is great if I'm going to be, you know, obviously it's a sketch pad. You just want everything on a spiral bind. You just keep it all together. But when I'm doing these pieces, I like to have just a straight separate sheet of paper. I don't want to have the marks where you have to fold it and rip it out kind of deal, or even cutting it out of a sketch pad. It just I don't like that. I like having the block, you know, and I think that's why I use the big single sheets, because it allows me to have varying sizes and stuff like that. But this I think is going to be really fun. I love the size, 7 by 10. So I'm really anxious to try some horizontal pieces, some vertical pieces. I just think it's going to be really fun. So let me tell you what I think about the paper itself. It feels really smooth. It feels really smooth. You can still feel some tooth to it, but it's definitely smoother than my standard Arches paper that I have here. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, a little bit smoother. It should be interesting. It should be really interesting to try and see how it works. But once again, it's an Arches, and I love Arches paper. Strathmore makes a nice paper as well. But, you know, I'm just a big fan of Arches. So anyhow, I'm going to try the next part of this video. I'm actually going to put the charcoal on it, start pushing the charcoal around, and I'll eventually get into the point where I'm using the pencils and the erasers. And the erasers, the big deal is will it erase, and will it erase nicely? And I could just start throwing pencil on here and erasing it, but I kind of want to do my own personal process on this first sheet of paper just to see how it reacts. I know a lot of people would say experiment with the first sheet you go into. I personally, I skip that. I move right into, I'm going to do my normal process. I'm going to throw charcoal on it. I'm going to start erasing, and I'm going to work with the material as it is, because working with the unknown creates these variables, these accidents, people call them happy accidents, that make you push your skill level, push your imagination, and push your abilities. And that's what I look for. I don't look for the easy way. I don't look for trying to learn how everything works. I kind of want to experience the materials in an environment that's not safe. So anyhow, we're going to do that next. Okay, it's been a couple weeks now since I took the block paper apart. And just to kind of do a quick recap, this is the block paper, the Arches hot press 140-pound block paper. And I thought I'd cover really quick the pencils that I used for this particular thing. I used charcoal powder, and I used an HB, a 2B pencil, as well as my trusted soft eraser. And these are Staedtler leads, just in case you're wondering. Like I said, an HB and a 2B. Okay, so I did about 3 pieces. I have some more that I'm working on now because I really do like the paper. The paper really does stand up just like the larger sheets that I use. Here's some of these smaller pieces that I use, and you can see that it maintains the darks. It smears like I like it to smear. It erases cleanly, because I cover everything with charcoal powder and then I erase it out. I don't use any mechanical erasers or anything like that. I just use my trusted soft eraser, kneaded eraser, and that's how I pull out my highlights. And for the most part, I like to leave them kind of my pieces a little bit on the smudgy, smeary side, and I'll end up leaving, like, this is a completed piece, and I love all this smear that's kind of going around in there. And I just kind of usually will tighten up a certain area, but it performs really, really well. This guy is the same way, just basically pulling out all these little highlights and in the arm and such like that. This one was a really fun one because you can see I do tape these, but this one I taped all the way around, and the tape pulls off super clean, super nice. You can see kind of the shine. Like I said, the tape pulls off really, really clean. It doesn't feel like it's pulling on the paper or going to rip the paper or do anything. In the end, this is just great paper. I would recommend it to anybody. Get it on Amazon. Get it on lots of different art store places. But anyhow, Arches. This is the watercolor 140-pound hot press. That's the key. So anyhow, I hope this review was helpful for you. I know I'm kind of sold. I like doing these smaller pieces. I think it's a lot of fun, easy to frame, and just really, 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 really fun to do. So anyhow, yeah, Arches hot press. It's hard to go wrong. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Follow me if you can. Follow me if you'd like. I'm going to do more of these tutorials, things like that. Thanks. Bye.